Welcome everybody. All right, so one thing we did not do is we did not spawn the stars yet. So let's hop up to our timers here. And you can see here that we have a timer here. Let's use another timer called the function timer stars spawn, or timer star spawn will work. All right, so let's go wait equal to sk action dot wait for duration, and we'll spawn it every 0.2 seconds. That's probably pretty good. Then we're going to say let spawn is equal to sk action dot run block. And what are we going to do in this block? We're going to do self dot spawn star. Okay, we're going to spawn a star every 2 seconds. And so let's go ahead and let's say that this is let sequence is equal to sk action dot sequence. And we're going to go to wait, then spawn. And then we're going to go to self.runAction, sk action dot repeat action forever, and we're going to repeat the sequence. All right. Now what we can also do is we can add in an if is alive is double equal to true here. We can add that in here. That way, the stars will not spawn if the player is dead. Well, that works out pretty well. But now we need to go up to the stars here and add in a function called star move, and we can call stars move. All right, and here we'll say let wait or let move to equal to sk action dot move to y, and the y is going to be negative 100. The ns time interval, we can actually set this to a random. So let's go ahead, let's do that here. Now we're going to add in a variable, we'll call this random time. Make that equal to int arc for random underscore uniform, and we'll make it between 0 and 2 seconds. Okay, now this is okay, but one thing we can do is we can go and add in, we can actually make this in between 0 and 10 seconds, and then we're going to add in another variable. We'll call this double time or double random time. Make this a double and make it equal to random time divided by 10. Okay, what this is going to do is that, and you can see here that there's a bit of an issue. It says replace random double time with vary here. And what this is going to do is that technically random time is an integer, so we have to make it a double. All right, so we'll double that. All right, and you can take a look at this here, and you also need a space. All right, so let's just look at what happened here, and let's change these to let because we're not going to be using them here. So we have a random time, and we pick a number between 0 and 10, and then we want to make sure it's a double because ns time interval requires a double. So we're going to call this double random time. All right, and then since random time is an integer, we have to convert it to a double, and then we divide it by 10. All right, so that works out well. All right, and since this is an integer and an arc4 random is a uint32, you can't make decimals, so that's why we're doing that here. Okay, and then we're going to say let destroy is equal to sk action dot destroy or dot remove from parent, and we're going to say that this is star dot run action, and we're going to go sk action dot sequence. And then the sequence here is going to be move to, move, move to, comma, destroy. All right. And let's call this before, just like that. All right. And maybe get rid of the extraneous space. Although you can technically have the white space in here. Now, the one thing we also need to do is go up to the top and call timer star spawn. And that is going to do exactly what it says. It's going to spawn stars. So we have to call that first. All right. And look at that. The stars are looking pretty neat. Right. And then they stop, obviously. This is actually pretty good. But they're a bit fast. So I'm going to add 1 to that. Now, technically, this works out. And if you listen to your math teacher, you want to use less brackets. But in this case, I kind of like to look at that here. So I'm just going to add 1. All right, and there we go. Look at that. Yeah, it's starting to look good. Now, this isn't looking too bad, but the biggest issue, I guess, is we could probably spawn 2 of these. So let's go to our star spawn here. And the problem with the big text, sometimes it's hard to find it. But we have the spawn enemies, and here we go. We could spawn 2 more of these. So this will make a lot of stars. Let's take a look at that here. And yeah, that's starting to look pretty good. Okay. And there we go. And while this looks good, maybe we could add in 2 seconds to this. And that way it'll be just a little bit, you can see the stars a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. That's starting to look pretty cool. And yeah. All right. This concludes the tutorial.